Welcome back, my friends, to BjjBrick Quick. My name is Byron. This is your quick jiu-jitsu podcast. Today, we're starting something called 10 Bullets, and that's by a guy named Tom Sachs. And I was reading this book called Every Tool is a Hammer. It's by Adam Savage. If you remember, he's the one of the guys from the Mythbuster show. I saw he wrote a book. I think that'd be interesting. I read a few books a month, so it's not that strange, and it's really not really anything I've been particularly interested in. But I thought that would be fun, and it was an interesting read. But in the book, he covered the 10 bullets of Tom Sachs. And it was really kind of neat. And what it was kind of a rule that he had, Tom, for running a studio or running a shop, just how to make things work like in good working order. And I thought, well, this would be kind of interesting to see how some of these relate to jiu-jitsu and what we could think about, while we're in our own gyms. And if you're a gym owner, maybe some of these will click with you. Maybe none of them will. I don't know. We're going to do... I think we're going to do a bullet an episode and see how we go. So this is bullet number 1. You can also think of it like a bullet point. Bullet number 1, work to code. And you think about this as far as, if you're building something and you have plans, work to code. And things, you use this type of glue or these type of screws. You put, this many screws in will hold this much weight or whatever it is. Somebody's figured this out, and you build that way. So with jiu-jitsu, and they also say work to code, creativity is the enemy here. And I'm not saying there's no creativity in jiu-jitsu. There certainly is. But if somebody's figured out a system or how something works, how to follow up, how to set up a really tight armbar, how to deal with things that problems present as they do when you're attacking somebody who's not letting you do things. Someone's figured out all the answers to this problem. This isn't that complex of a problem. Work to code. Follow the right answers. Follow these things. You have to know the rules. You have to know the code in order to be able to apply it. So it doesn't just... It's kind of what you think of with fundamentals. And maybe you get a little bit more leeway with a little bit more experience. But knowing how to do a very clean takedown or submission, sweep, a textbook demonstration of that on an unwilling opponent is following the code. And you're absolutely... They do work. These techniques work. That may not always work for you, but there's somebody somewhere that could get you in the simplest of arm bars, and just like, well, I thought I had. It's been a long time since I've been hit with one of those. But they've been practicing. They're working to code. They're doing the standard game. Another way to think about working to code is, let's say maybe you're working on developing a pass. You do things a little bit differently, but maybe the code is don't give up your base. Don't be off balance. Don't get swept. If you're doing MMA, don't, put yourself in a position to take 15 punches to the face. 14, maybe, but 15, you got to draw the limit. That would be a code. So if you want to do something a little unorthodox, does it break the code as far as your jiu-jitsu fundamentals goes? I can see why this works in the shop so well. You build things a certain way for certain reasons. In jiu-jitsu, we do things a certain way for certain reasons as well. This thing does a little bit of dissuades for creativity. That's fine. It may not all go with jiu-jitsu, but really, how creative are you going to be when you've got a couple of years on the mats? You'd be I think you'd be better off working to code, getting to know kind of the rules of jiu-jitsu, not like competitive rules, but why things work, how body mechanics work, all that is working to code. So this has been the first bullet of 10. Next time we'll do bullet number 2. Oh man, I'm just creative with this. I guess I'm working to code on these. But think about it. Take it or leave it. You know, does it fit your gym? Does it fit you? It may not fit your gym at all, but maybe this is something that you could benefit from. I hope you have a great day today, and stay sweaty, my friend.